I'm grateful to be known as somebody who is a real person, like a person that brings an energy that is always for the people, about the people. And with my feet on the ground, maybe some people feel like I'm somewhere over here. I really don't feel that.
Once upon a time, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz were the picture-perfect power couple. Music icons, cultural influencers, and savvy entrepreneurs built a public image that seemed untouchable, polished, aspirational, and aspirationally flawless. Fans saw the red carpet moments, the art collections, and the family photos, and they assumed the story was simple: love, success, and legacy. But behind that curated Instagram perfection, a storm has been brewing for years, one filled with allegations, betrayals, and scandalous whispers. From alleged affairs to leaked tapes, social media has tracked every step, every rumor, and every whisper, waiting for the moment the facade would crack. And while most assumed Alicia would respond in dramatic fashion, storming out and making headlines, she chose a different path. Today, we're breaking down the full story: why Alicia Keys is still standing by Swizz Beatz, what it says about her strategy, her brand, and her family, and why this saga is far from over. The first layer of this story begins with the allegations themselves. Swizz Beatz, the renowned producer behind some of hip-hop's biggest hits, has faced numerous whispers over the years, ranging from alleged affairs to claims of domestic incidents. Most recently, the attention shifted to Lala Anthony, fueled by an alleged leaked tape that sent social media into a frenzy. Fans expected Alicia to react publicly, to defend herself, to storm out of the marriage, or to make a statement that would dominate headlines for weeks. But instead, she remained silent, or at least publicly silent. It's important to note that Alicia's silence isn't apathy. On the surface, it may appear as though she's choosing to endure betrayal, but beneath that calm exterior lies a woman fully aware of the stakes. Alicia is not just a celebrity, she's a global brand, a legacy artist, and someone who understands that her choices now aren't just personal. They have cultural and financial ramifications that stretch far beyond her marriage. In fact, every move she makes, every decision she appears to take, is calculated to protect her empire, her reputation, and her family. Social media, as expected, reacted immediately. Some fans applauded her composure, interpreting it as strength and strategic foresight. Others criticized her for tolerating what they saw as a betrayal, calling her decisions misguided or even harmful. The dichotomy reflects the larger conversation about women in the public eye, about love, loyalty, and reputation management in a world where every move is scrutinized, dissected, and judged. For Alicia, it's about control. She knows the headlines will write themselves if she shows even the slightest vulnerability publicly. By staying calm, she maintains authority over her narrative while the world speculates, ensuring that the story doesn't get written without her input. This saga offers more than just gossip. It's a masterclass in public strategy and human behavior, with 3 key lessons we can all learn from. First, karma is undefeated. Actions have consequences, sometimes immediate, sometimes delayed, but they inevitably arrive. Alicia stepped into a relationship with Swizz Beatz knowing his past, including his previous marriage and personal controversies. Now, years later, the patterns of behavior she witnessed then are resurfacing. Karma isn't fast or predictable. It can arrive like a slow-moving storm or hit like a lightning bolt. Second, a person with nothing to lose can disrupt everything. In high-profile situations, someone willing to take risks with nothing to protect can destabilize even the most seemingly secure relationships. Alleged side romances, leaks, and manipulations demonstrate this truth vividly. Third, hurt people hurt people. Those who inflict betrayal or drama often carry wounds of their own, repeating patterns learned or endured. Understanding this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it explains the dynamics Alicia faces. These lessons frame her decisions, not just as responses to emotional pain, but as calculated steps to maintain control and power over her life, her family, and her brand. Alicia's silence and strategic patience aren't signs of weakness. They are manifestations of wisdom, foresight, and mastery over the chaotic public stage. Rather than reacting impulsively to every rumor or leak, she has chosen to let the storm pass, observing, analyzing, and preparing for her next move. And make no mistake, in the celebrity world, time is everything. One poorly timed statement or tweet can define a narrative for years, while patience allows one to set the terms and retain agency. To fully understand Alicia's strategy, we need to examine the relationship itself. From the very beginning, Alicia's connection with Swizz Beatz was complicated. She entered the picture while he was still legally married to another woman. The public scrutiny, the gossip columns, the fan judgment, it all came with her decision to stay with him and build a life together. Over the years, the pair became more than just a couple. They became a brand, a power couple with a sprawling empire. From music collaborations to luxury real estate, from curated art collections to global philanthropy, their lives were intertwined in every sense, professionally, emotionally, and financially. When the alleged side chick pregnancy story broke, coupled with the whispers about Lala Anthony, it would have been easy for Alicia to walk away, but she didn't. Instead, she engaged in what insiders describe as a high-level game of chess. Every public appearance, every Instagram post, every interaction with the media was deliberate. She maintained composure, projecting calm and poise, while behind closed doors, intense confrontations and strategic planning were reportedly taking place. Alicia's decision to stay is as much about preserving her empire as it is about personal feelings. To walk away impulsively would be to hand over the narrative to gossip, social media, and detractors, letting them define her legacy instead of her. Of course, it isn't all business. Emotionally, Alicia is caught in a web of conflicting feelings. Anger, heartbreak, and betrayal collide with love, family bonds, and shared history. She and Swizz share children, homes, and almost 2 decades of life together. Walking away isn't as simple as signing divorce papers. It's dismantling a life, a family, and an empire. Sources say Alicia's internal struggle involves replaying the alleged Lala tape and side chick rumors repeatedly, weighing her emotional pain against the practical consequences of leaving. Her friends and advisors are split. Some urge her to leave and reclaim her independence, while others counsel patience, highlighting the financial and strategic stakes. Alicia has carefully pruned her inner circle, listening only to those she trusts implicitly, ensuring that every decision she makes is informed and deliberate. Public perception is a constant pressure. Social media, for instance, doesn't pause for nuance. One moment she's celebrated for grace under pressure. The next, she's criticized for staying in a potentially toxic marriage. Alicia understands that the court of public opinion has long memories. By maintaining silence and controlling her public image, she avoids giving the internet any more ammunition to rewrite her story without her consent. Her calculated loyalty is not a sign of weakness. It's a clear demonstration of control over her narrative, her brand, and her future. Now, let's look at the strategy. Insiders say Alicia is actively separating Alicia Keys, the woman, from Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz, the brand. This involves quietly transferring assets, renegotiating contracts, and reclaiming control over her joint ventures. Every public appearance is deliberate, maintaining the appearance of stability while she builds contingency plans. Her legal team and financial advisors are reportedly fully engaged, ready for any leaks or media storms. By moving quietly and deliberately, Alicia ensures that if she ever decides to leave, or if the situation escalates, she can do so on her own terms, protecting her legacy, children, and empire. Meanwhile, Swizz reportedly continues to leverage his position, appealing to shared history, family bonds, and public perception to maintain his place in her life. But Alicia remains in control. Reports indicate she is engaging with his attempts strategically, allowing just enough interaction to preserve appearances while keeping the upper hand. This level of calculation and foresight is rare even among celebrities. She's playing a long game, one that prioritizes legacy over impulse, power over passion, and control over chaos. Everything Alicia does now is filtered through the lens of legacy. She is aware that her children, her music, and her brand will outlive any scandal. Walking away impulsively could have short-term emotional relief, but long-term strategic consequences. She's balancing motherhood, artistry, and celebrity with a precision few can manage. Social media will speculate endlessly, but Alicia's priority is clear. She is choosing the timing, framing, and manner in which any personal or public drama unfolds. Even as the Lala Anthony shape looms, she remains poised. Experts say she has developed contingencies for potential fallout, from public statements to legal maneuvers. Alicia's silence, calm demeanor, and calculated loyalty positioned her not as a victim, but as a strategist controlling a complex public narrative. She demonstrates that sometimes power is found not in reaction, but in patience, preparation, and precision. However, Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz first crossed paths when Alicia was just 14 years old and Swizz was 16. They were introduced by a mutual friend, but their first interaction was short and far from romantic. Alicia reportedly brushed Swizz off, telling him she would see him when she sees him, which shows how young and indifferent she was at the time. Despite this, their paths would continue to intersect throughout their teenage and young adult years. At the same time, Alicia was forming an important relationship with 24-year-old musician and producer K.C. Crucial. She lied about her age, claiming she was 17, and over time, their friendship evolved into both a professional and romantic connection. By the time she turned 15, Alicia and Crucial were collaborating on her music and dating, which would set the stage for the complicated love life she would navigate in the coming years. Even while involved with Crucial, Alicia couldn't help but notice Swizz at various award shows and industry events. At first, she was unimpressed, describing him as ostentatious, always flaunting the fastest cars, loudest jackets, and most expensive jewelry. She even admitted in interviews that she found him so annoying at the time. But Swizz was persistent. He invited her to lunch, and despite her reluctance, she agreed. When he arrived late, Alicia was initially irritated, only to discover that he had brought a small painting of a piano on her car as an apology. It was a small, seemingly insignificant gesture, but it was a sign of Swizz's creativity and thoughtfulness, the first glimpse of the depth that would later draw Alicia in. Their shared love of art became one of the first bonds in what would eventually develop into a deep and enduring connection. While Alicia was navigating her early career and relationships, Swizz Beatz was dealing with a very complicated personal life. Around 1998, he started dating a woman named Mashonda, and their relationship was marked by both tragedy and drama. Their first pregnancy ended in a stillbirth in 2000, a devastating experience for both of them. Later that year, Swizz fathered a child, Prince Nazir, with another woman named Nicole Levy. Despite this, Swizz married Mashonda in 2004, and in 2006, she gave birth to their son, Kasim Jr. Swizz's personal life was already incredibly complex by the time he and Alicia began forming a romantic connection, which foreshadowed the controversies and public drama that would later surround their relationship. Meanwhile, Alicia's career was skyrocketing. Her debut album, Songs in A Minor, released in 2001, went on to be certified 7 times platinum. Crucial played a significant role in her songwriting and production, and for a time, Alicia lived with him. However, despite the stability in her professional life, the media began speculating about her sexuality, questioning whether she was a lesbian. Alicia denied these rumors, but admitted that her assertive and strong-minded personality could make people uncomfortable, particularly men. This combination of personal and professional pressures set the stage for her next major relationship, one that would ultimately define much of her adult life. By 2008, during the production of Alicia's 4th album, The Element of Freedom, Swizz was brought in to write and produce a couple of tracks. Rumor has it that this was also when their romantic relationship began, even though Swizz was still legally married to Mashonda at the time. Alicia noted in her memoir that as she spent more time with Swizz, she began to appreciate the depth of his personality beyond his flashy exterior. Behind the baggy jeans, arm tattoos, and ostentatious style, Swizz was aware of what was happening in the world and possessed a level of thoughtfulness that intrigued Alicia. This intellectual and emotional connection laid the foundation for a romantic bond that would eventually grow stronger despite numerous obstacles. Of course, the affair created immediate tension. Mashonda discovered the relationship just 2 days before her son's first birthday, and the drama quickly spilled into the public eye. Social media was ablaze, with fans and critics alike weighing in on the situation. Alicia and Swizz, however, were seemingly undeterred, continuing to build their connection and eventually starting a family together. The complicated dynamics between Alicia, Swizz, and Mashonda would continue to unfold publicly, adding layers of controversy and scrutiny to an already complex situation. In May 2010, Alicia announced she was expecting her first child with Swizz Beatz. Around the same time, Swizz was dealing with allegations from Mashonda, who claimed he owed her $325,000 in child support and $99,000 in alimony. Swizz publicly denied the accusations, stating that he had gone above and beyond court orders, even giving Mashonda $700,000 upfront instead of the $200,000 mandated by the court. Adding to the complications, Swizz also had a child with Russian singer Yana Sebastian, confirmed through paternity tests. By this point, he was a father of 4 children by 4 different women. Alicia, meanwhile, had to navigate public scrutiny over her role in these blended family dynamics. She even attempted to encourage Swizz's children from previous relationships to call her affectionate titles like Ummi, the Arabic word for mommy, which created tension with the other mothers. While some criticized Alicia for being a homewrecker, she remained committed to building a loving family with Swizz. The constant media attention, combined with the complex web of family relationships, made it clear that their love story was nothing but simple.